Gosh, I'm used to this.
What's been your focus this offseason? What have you worked on? Knowing that you're going to have this opportunity now to be with the big league club. What have you focused on?
Man, I've been focusing on staying consistent. I think that's one of the what everybody wants at this level. Being able to come every single day and play hard and show up ready. That's what I've been working. I think I have one of the best offseason I have again. I've been putting the work since October, so I think I'm in a good shape for the season.
What was your reaction when they didn't tender his, which basically meant that you're going to get this shot now? What was your feeling that day when you heard the news?
I mean, I understand this is a business. I cannot say I was happy, but I was. The chance and the confidence that the Cardinals are giving me, it's it's huge. Being able to now knowing that I have a good chance of being the team is, I'm excited for that.
When we've talked to Mo, we've talked to Ollie, and they've been pretty clear that you will be the backup catcher this year. Knowing that you'll have a time to be in the big leagues without worrying about options or being sent down, what does that do for you to elevate your game?
I mean, it gives me confidence too. I'm a guy that when I have my confidence in a high level, I'm a really good player. It's like I proved that over the last couple of months, and being able to go there and compete is one of the best things I want, right? And the confidence the team have with me, it's great.
I think you've already had exposure with Yadier before, but obviously he's coming in an advisory role this year. What does that mean for you going into the season, knowing you have more exposure to a legend like that?
I mean, Yadier for me is the best catcher ever, and working with him the last years says it all. Like start working with him, and my defense got so much better. I'm so thankful that I met him, and I'm happy he's gonna be back, right? So I'm happy that he's gonna be back with us, helping us.
When it comes to working with Wilson, what has your experience been like? Just learning from him and just being able to work alongside him.
He's a funny guy. Yeah. Miss him. He's a competitor. Like he goes out and compete every single game. And one thing that I like about him, and he always says it, is that like you will hate me if you play against me, and you will love me if you play with me. And I agree with him. I think he's one of the best competitors I've met too, and happy to be next to him.
Ivan, I imagine the last couple of years you kind of had to look at, all right, here's the guys who might be pitching in Memphis, here's the guys who might be pitching in St. Louis, you're learning about all these guys. Is that different for you this winter when you kind of look at where you might be headed and what that looks like?
Yeah.
Focus on some things differently?
Yeah. For example, I remember the first time I called Wayno. Wayno, we were talking about his pitches and everything. I'm like, I never called Wayno, not even in spring training. And he was like, it's been a minute, it's been a couple of years. It's been like 10 years since he got like a new catcher. So, being able to know that I can like prepare since spring training, and knowing like getting to know the pitchers, it's a huge thing. It's different when you just go to the big leagues like that. Like I didn't know how Wayne pitch. That's like a good example.
How much easier does that make like your pregame work, right? When you go in, you have that base knowledge. How much better does that make the pregame stuff go for you? You already have that on the team.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. For example, like how he likes to pitch, right? It's huge because they're gonna feel confident with you. Pitcher feel confident with Yadi when he was catching. I'm trying to get that confidence from them.
You mentioned working with Yadi improving defensively. Over the last, that was one of the big strides you took defensively after your first appearance. Maybe where did that come from? What work did you do to do that? And where do you think you improved most defensively?
I mean, I think my defense got better because I'm starting playing a lot at the highest level. I think for me was getting that first base in the big leagues and not succeeding was what put me like, hey, I know I need to get so much better. I see guys like Ramuto catching, Wilson, and they put a lot of work on it behind the scenes that people don't see. And doing that, I went back home and I remember sitting on my bed or couch, like thinking about all the bad things I did, and that I say I don't want to do that again. I want to be a good player. I don't want to struggle. A lot of players will struggle, but like knowing how to get out of there is it's hard. So I got I the next year I went to Memphis and knowing what I needed to do in 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 order to be back at the big league level. So I think having that first stage in the big leagues and struggling was what got me to get so much better too.
Ron, how much different was everything for you this year in Memphis? I mean, like, you talked about learning from the year before when you were up at Big Club. So, like, was there a daily routine different? Like, did you do different drills? Did you have different ways you went about things last year coming off the year before?
Yeah, I struggled early in the year and it was tough. So I kept working, man. It's a sport of failure, and I remember watching Derek Jeter talk. He was saying like one of the best advice was like learn how to deal with failure, and I understand that. And sometimes I go for 4 with 3 strikeouts. I'm like, good, that's fine. Tomorrow it's a new day. I go out and compete too. Even I remember this year I had 4 strikeouts. The next game I had 3 hits. So this is like a game that's gonna play with your head. It's a mental game.
Is that something that you, that the mental aspect, you feel like was something that maybe held you back a little bit in the past year?
Yeah, I think I was a little immature my first year in the big leagues, and after like I failed, it when everything comes back to my head saying that okay, everybody here is good. Now you what like in order to be good, what I need to do, I need to be mature, having a routine, or like coming every single day and show up and do what I need to do.
Was that a pretty eye-opening experience? Just get you talked about the first taste of seeing the big leagues and like seeing the preparation and what goes into that. Was that something that kind of flipped the light switch on for you to things you may not have even realized that you had to do to make it at this level?
Yeah, I remember in my first couple games doing reports, and after the game I had headaches. When I was playing Memphis, I go and have fun. I still have fun in the big league level, but there's so much work behind the scenes that we do. Like for example, we play at 7 p.m. We have to be here since 1 p.m. So there's like a routine that comes, and like we stick to it. Like I stick to it, and it works. So coming every single day and being able to do that routine, knowing that if you're like having a bad game, for example, sticking to that routine, it's hard because you're feeling like you're not good enough at that time. Like you need to change something, and that's one of the best things I heard from like players. Like sticking to your routine is one of the like important things in this game.
Do you feel like when you came back up this year that you wanted to show the staff, players, whoever, that you learned from the year before, how much you had changed?
Yeah, like every time I go there, I'm trying to be Ivan and play hard. Like I say, the year before I had like a lot of like thinking, knowing like what I need to do. Like for example, my first at bat, like my first year, I was like really, I felt like overwhelmed by the pitchers, because I started struggling. And like my first at bat, the big leagues, I go and swing the first pitch and I hit a double, so that gave me confidence, like that kind of stuff. Like a lot of thinking helped me become a better player.
Did you make big strides offensively? Your numbers were great this past season. What changes happened at the plate hitting the ball?
I mean, I changed my stance, and it was like you start like feeling, and I was like, okay, maybe start feeling. I kept my routine, but I started like trying new stuff too, and it works, man. I started hitting the balls harder. I started getting more walks. Strikeout went down. Just sticking to the routine, and some days I do gotta be open to try new stuff. Like I'm that guy that like if you tell me something, maybe you say you wanna hit like we're gonna say like Albert Pujols, and maybe I don't like it. Maybe I wanna hit like Wilson, for example. And trying new stuff help you get better too, and listening to everybody.
Where have you spent your off season? Was it in Jupiter? Was it back home? Was it where have you spent most of your off season working?
Yeah, I spent my off season in Panama. I have a good coach, a good trainer, I have good facilities there, and I started playing in Panama a week ago too. It's been fun. Panama is fun.
Cardinals had a little bit of a new rotation this year with guys like Sonny, Ty, and Altmans. And obviously the pitching staff might have moved it to the bullpen. Just curious if you had some talks with some of the new guys and what you're expecting.
No, I haven't spoken to the new guys. I'm just excited to go out and catch Sonny, Gibson, new guys. Being able to get to know them, trying to understand them, their mindset, the way they pitch, trying to get in the same page with them. So I'm just happy let's say that. Can't wait for spring training to start and start doing that.
One of the biggest improvements last year was your measurable exit velocity. Was that an emphasis last offseason to hit the ball strong or harder? I know you mentioned getting comfortable in the box. Was it a comfort confidence thing, or was it a guided work?
Well, last year was crazy for me. I struggled the first month, and then I started playing with my stance, And when I was talking with Juan Jeffers, we was talking, and it was like, hey, why don't you start trying this new stuff? And I was like, And then I started doing it by myself, with my hands. And if you guys see, I have my hands playing in front. In my first game, when I started doing that, I go and hit a home run, 110, and then I go hit a double, 130. I'm like, I'm staying like this. So yeah, it was not like I was focused on my exit velocity. I think it was the lifting weights, working on that came and gave me the strength to do that.
Thanks, Ivan.
Awesome. Thank you.